Well, as it turns out, everything is probably not going to be okay. Yeah, laying off pretty much all of your staff. Don't know if that means that we're going to recover from this. Hey friends, this is Aronica from Aronica B. Cole & Co. If you're like, girl, what are you talking about? Because you definitely came in and made it seem like the world is ending. It's because for some of us, the world is ending. Well, in a different kind of way, right? So this week, in fact, I'm currently at PatternCon in Charlotte, North Carolina, recording this because this was the only time that I had to get away to go ahead and actually record this here update as far as what is going on with the Big Five, aka Simplicity, McCall's, Vogue, Nomi, and Butterick, right? Now we found out, I guess what, a month ago that they filed for bankruptcy. And I'm not saying that there's no coming back, but I am saying that it might be a little hard to kind of come back from this. And if you're wondering why, we're going to talk about it in today's vloggy vlog. And yeah, this is going to have minimal editing. Why? Because again, I'm away from home and this is like something that I really felt like needed to be talked about in the moment, in the now. And that is why I'm recording this as opposed to just like waiting until I got back home. Okay, so let's play a little bit of catch up in case you got lost in the sauce or this is your first time hearing about all of this and you're just like, say what now? Okay, so July 3rd is when Design Group of America, which is the kind of parent company to Simplicity, McCall's, Vogue, Nomi, as well as Butterick, is kind of under. So Chapter 11 bankruptcy was filed July 3rd. And that was after being acquired in May of 25 for $1 by Hilco Capital. And this is just like a financial services affiliate. They tend to do this a lot, dare I say, because they also, I want to say Hilco also actually bought out Big Lots as well. Now, in addition to paying $1, they were promised 75% of all future sale proceeds. And that was in May, okay? And of course, I feel like there were a lot of contributing factors here. One of the biggest blows is Joann's filing bankruptcy and then ultimately going under, right? And the reason why is because, of course, over 5% of the design group, aka DGA's revenue came from them in the fiscal year of 24 and 25. And so to put that into a monetary standpoint, we're talking about $27.4 million in 24 and $23.2 million in 25. And as a reminder, we are still in 25, and that is how much, you know, that's how much they kind of made for DGA, which is incredible. Some additional contributing factors also include current state of our economy, right? So we do see that consumers are pulling back on doing a lot of buying for non-essential items because, of course, of the rising cost of living, whether that is in freight, whether that's in raw materials, whether that's in wages, as well as, of course, the tariff volatility affecting some of these import strategies. Now, if you're like, why do you keep looking up the side? It's because, of course, I've got my handy dandy iPad to keep me on task so that I can make sure that I'm bringing the correct information. So in the fiscal year ending of March 24, DGA had approximately $500 million in revenue. Their operating profit before taxes was about $4.9 million. And they have over $100 million in unsecured debts. Yeah. So Hilco is selling off the 4 operational business segments and they're phasing out the ribbon making, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, because when I talked about this before, people were like, yeah, the ribbons were not even all that, and we're hoping that it goes to smaller business. So let us pray, right? So if you're like, what for kind of business segments are they selling off? We've got sewing, of course, so that's where the sewing patterns come in. We've got gifts, so that includes gift wrap, bows, bags, boxes. We also have stationery, so they had, of course, calendars, cards, journals, as well as like toys and arts and crafts kits and things of those nature that go underneath kind of like a play heading, we should say. Now, there has been significant interest. In fact, so far, 58 parties have signed NDAs to inspect the financials. So that means that they are interested, right? All of the bids are due by September 8th, 2025. And the auction is scheduled to clear by September 11th of 2025. ominous date, if you ask me. Anyway, but as of today what is today? Oh my God. Today is August 15th, right? Shout out to those who had to pay their mortgages, their rents, etc. by this date. It's due today, okay? Let's talk about the layoffs, because this is something that is huge and is like really causing a lot of unrest in the sewing community. So we saw on August 9th in Pennsylvania, there were 380 layoffs. In Atlanta, yeah, I didn't even know there was like an Atlanta location, to be completely honest. The start date of their layoffs is supposed to be scheduled for August 26th. They're scheduling 53 layoffs. In Maryland, 70 layoffs. In South Carolina, 112 layoffs. In Illinois, 150 in Illinois. Why did I say S? In Illinois, there's 150 layoffs. And then in New York, which is actually what houses the design office, 80 layoffs. Now, if you have never kind of visited the office in New York, it's actually a very small office. Like there's not a whole lot of people in the New York office, which can be a little scary, right? So the total announced layoffs is 845 employees, which represents about 60% of the 1,400 employees at the time of bankruptcy. That's a lot of people, y'all. That's like a big percentage. That is more than half of the entire, that's more than half of everybody who works there. That is very scary, very scary. So in addition to that, right, we are seeing some other things. I'm going to touch on those other things after I'm done kind of like with this here, right? Because I am a designer my contract has never been terminated, so I'm going to just go ahead and keep it in current state. So because I am a designer with DGA, we see things a little bit differently, right? And so that's actually what I want to talk about now, because so when you are going through, or when you have a business that is going through a bankruptcy, right? There are typically creditors. In fact, when I was talking about the Joann's bankruptcy, I was talking about how Joann's did not pay a lot of vendors, right? And during the bankruptcy, actually, as soon as they knew that they were filing for bankruptcy, they should have disclosed that information to any of their creditors, any of their vendors, any of the people who they owed money to. So that way they knew that they were going to have to file their paperwork and file their claims to make sure that they got paid as part of the bankruptcy, right? All of that didn't happen according to the vendors of Joann's. The same thing stands true for DGA, which means, and I'm saying this because I know that there are people who have worked for or done work with DGA as far as influencing, designing, etc. Listen, we have until tomorrow, Saturday, August 16th, to have all of our claims filed, which means that if you have a statement saying that you earned money from DGA and you have not been paid, you need to file your claim by tomorrow. I will make sure I include a link. Part of me is like, well, Veronica, tread lightly because, whatever, because you would still like future opportunities to design commercially or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that there were a lot of things that were in the contract that were not upheld, right? I won't go into kind of old things, but I will talk about how I did not receive an email letting me know that I needed to do this. Right. The only way that I received any kind of emails is because Julian sent me stuff or because other people told me about this. And that is a problem because it was supposed to come from DGA. It should not be coming from anybody else. It should be coming from the representatives at DGA that we worked with. And we as designers, we get paid royalties. We were supposed to be receiving royalty reports, meaning we were supposed to be notified of how many of our patterns sold so that we could know what was calculated for our royalty reports and everything like that. I never received that. I actually just had to email up so that I could get that, so that I could file for my claim for the money that's owed to me because I haven't been paid my royalties. So things have not been the most transparent, right? When Trouble in Paradise first came out, there was a statement that was made as far as everything is okay, everything is business as usual, and it's all misinformation. It's giving Voldemort screaming out fake news. Yet here we are a couple of months later, and we have to get these reports in. We have to file these claims because if we don't, then we won't get paid. There are designers who are owed anything from $300 on up to $8,000. And that's a substantial amount of money, right? And here's the thing, even if you were only owed $300, that's enough money to like put eggs on the table, because we know the price of everything is currently going up. So to not communicate that with designers or people who you owe money to is bad business. Like, that's bad news bears. So I say that to say, if you are owed money from DGA, make sure that you go ahead and file your claim. Don't know if you'll get paid, but if, you know, someone does come out the woodworks around that September 11th time and this gets sold off, then all of our contracts get sold off as well. And it's really tricky because unless we terminate in writing our contracts, they can still sell our designs and not pay us, which is bananas outside of pajamas. Anyway, so that's kind of what I wanted to share on today's vloggy vlog, updating you all on what's going on, because I feel like it's really important. I feel like there should be someone who isn't afraid to disclose the truth of the information, right? Do I think that DGA will be bought? Possibly. Do I think that it's all going down and it will never recover? I don't think that. I do think that there are going to be some specific things that need to change, right? Like, I do think that we have to stop creating terrible PDF patterns with simplicity, especially because we know that the printers for the tissue patterns, no mas, right? Which is a little scary, because not only did those printers print for the big five, but they also printed some other indie pattern makers. But I will say that I feel like the indie pattern makers, they'll be fine because they already have dope PDF patterns. They've got fantastic projector settings and things of that nature. But I am a little nervous about what could happen. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got today, guys, because it's been a lot. I'm not gonna lie. As someone who was a designer and then just got tossed to the side because, you know, plus sizes are no longer important, right? We see, in fact, it's not even we see that, but anytime that our nation becomes more conservative as far as administration goes, we see the heroin chic skinny coming back in. And that means that plus sizes are no longer a priority. And we're just supposed to, I guess, walk around in sacks. I'm not exactly sure what it is supposed to be. Anyway, seeing as though I got kind of tossed to the left, right? I of course have stronger feelings about what's going on, but I want to make sure that the information that I share with you all is just actual and factual. That's it. So let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely interested to know. Want to know what you all are thinking as far as this goes. My heart goes out to the families that are being negatively impacted by this, of course. The people who are part of this 845 person job loss, this layoff. I really do hope that you all are able to kind of bridge that gap, get on your feet. And yeah, that is really hard, especially given the state of our economy right now. I'm sorry that I don't have happier news to share, but yeah, that's it. Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that other people can be in the know as well. Until next time, I'm hoping that next time I do have a happier video. I've been meaning to do some more sew-alongs and things like that. I'm currently recording a vlog because I am out at PatternCon this weekend. But yeah, I hope all is well with you all. Drop a comment and just check in with me so that I know that you all are well. Until next time, happy sewing.